No matter how powerful you were, how influential, no matter how much money you had, if you were alive 100 years ago, you could not afford to play Angry Birds. I'm Colin Wright, and you are watching Consider This. The thing is, a whole lot of what we have available today, a whole lot of the everyday things that we take for granted, things like Angry Birds, these are things that would not have been available at any price 100 years ago. Some of them 10 years ago. Some of the things, the day-to-day things that are so common and so cheap that we take them for granted, these would have seemed like massive, unattainable luxuries to anybody living 20, 30 years ago. And this is something that we forget, I think. These little kind of everyday miracles that exist around us. The idea that you can take a device out of your pocket and use it to connect with any person on the planet and access all of humanity's collective knowledge. That's remarkable. The fact that you can entertain yourself in infinite different ways on that same device. The fact that you can click a button on a website and order something that will arrive potentially the same day. That you can stream all of the world's collection of movies and music. That you can download any type of software. That you can use that software and the accompanying hardware as means of production, so that you yourself have all of the tools that the so-called bourgeoisie have always enjoyed, the control of the means of production that then allows you to, in some ways, influence and or control the direction of society. And so it's no small thing that we have access to all of these little luxuries. This is the best possible time in terms of more people having access to more of this type of common convenience, common luxury, than ever before. It's remarkable that we have that. And it really is something that we should remember when we're taking stock of, one, where we are today relative to where we were before. It's very, very easy to look back fondly on the past, forgetting the fact that they didn't have antibiotics, but also trying to consider where we're going to be next. We tend to think of the future in a linear fashion. We tend to think of everything that happens next as being some kind of evolution or direct progression of what exists today. But a lot of the things that we enjoy today, a lot of these little luxuries, are not a direct descendant of something else that happened. They are innovations that are the consequence of a confluence of different innovations that happened before. And so you put together this, and this, and you come up with something brand new that never existed before. That would have been very difficult to predict because it's not the same as going from a horse and buggy to a horseless carriage, getting the car. A lot of these things nobody saw coming, and the next step will very likely be the same. The next step of numerous different dimensions of everyday life. And so recognizing this fact allows us to get a little bit more out of the present, enjoying some of these things that we otherwise might ignore because we do take them for granted. But it also, hopefully, helps us be a little bit more optimistic about what comes next. It's not always the big world-changing inventions and innovations that have the biggest impact on everyday life. In some cases, it's whatever the next Angry Birds is going to be. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a like, you can subscribe to my channel, you can leave a comment in the comment section below, and that's a good place to ask a question as well if you'd like me to potentially answer it in a future video. You can find out more about me and my work at colin.io. My blog is exilelifestyle.com. My podcast is Let's Know Things, which you can find at letsknowthings.com. And you can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Vine, pretty much everywhere at Colin is my name.